Let's see how you do under pressure. Oh, yeah. I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay. Hey. Yeah. Ain't no errors, baby. It's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like Kesha. I get to the.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode. We're going ahead and doing the pregame show, Arizona Cardinals versus the Green Bay Packers. What's up, everybody? Appreciate y'all for being here in the chat. We already got Super, we got Mr. Zombie, we got Matthew, Carter, Same Damn Bub, Vin, Richie. Thank you so very much, everybody, for being here in the chat. We're going to have a good, fun-filled show for you guys today. Obviously, talking about Cardinals versus Packers. If you guys did not wake up early, I woke up pretty early because obviously football. There was a football game that happened on London, Jaguars versus the Chicago Bears, and the Bears absolutely just blew away the Jaguars. There's going to be a firing happening. I'm just going to say there's going to be a firing happening sometime in the near future with Doug Peterson and the Jaguars, but we're not here to talk about them. Obviously, we're here to talk about the Arizona Cardinals, right? We're here to talk about the Arizona Cardinals and the Green Bay Packers game, which is an absolute huge game. It's a huge game, ladies and gentlemen, a huge game. We do already got the inactives that's going to play and who's not going to play, so we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about keys to success for the Arizona Cardinals as well. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. If you want to get some last-minute slips in, right, the whole betting world, let me give you a huge shout-out here to BetUS, which is the sponsors of the Arizona Sports Fan throughout the entirety of the NFL season. Looking for a brand new sportsbook, BetUS is the way to go. Currently, right now, if you use promo code YouTube150, they will provide you with a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit and 125% sign-up bonus on the following two by using promo code YouTube150. Now, that is going to be up to $2,000 upon signing up. All right. Right now, this is the odds, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to, if you believe in the Cardinals, you can get a plus 203 if you want to go into BetUS and using promo code YouTube150. All right, let's get started here, ladies and gentlemen. A lot to talk about here today. We got a lot of people filling in the chat. Appreciate you for being here, by the way. Let's talk about the inactives, shall we? Let's talk about the inactives before we get started on this game. Let's talk about who's in, who's out. And if you can't already tell, we got my guy Xavier Weaver in the picture because I've been talking about Xavier Weaver for a very long time here, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like he's finally getting his opportunity to at least be active, right? I'm not gonna sit here and say he's gonna get a grip of the offensive snaps. No, I'm not sitting here saying that, but I wanted to see what Xavier Weaver can do. And of course, with the whole Zay Jones situation that we heard, him coming back. Now, obviously, he's not playing as well. It kind of makes the wide receiving room a little bit more crowded. But I'm glad that he's finally, hopefully, going to be seeing some light of day in the field. But let's talk about the inactives, who's in, who's out. So these are the inactives right now in terms of what we know. Matt Prater, the kicker for the Arizona Cardinals, out. He is not going to be playing today. I did make a post yesterday about Chad Ryland being elevated to the 53. If you didn't put two and two together, that usually means Matt Prater wasn't going to go. I didn't want to put that 100%. I didn't want to confirm it, but what we did know is that Chad Ryland did get elevated. And now this morning, lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Prater is not going to be a go. He is inactive with a knee injury. We also got a few other people to talk about. Cornerback Darren Hall will not be playing as well. He's also inactive. You also got linebacker Victor Dimukeje, also not playing as well. And then you got another linebacker in Xavier Thomas, another rookie for the Cardinals, not playing. And then you got Travis Volknek, the tight end for the Cardinals, also not playing as well. Let me give a shout out here to my guy, Mr. Zombie, with the super chat here. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much. He says, love you, bro. K1's going to go nuts today. Hopefully. Appreciate the super chat, my guy. Absolutely appreciate it. Let me give you a DJ horn. Thank you so very much for the first super chat here of the morning. I sure hope so. Looking at what's happening in Green Bay right now, looks to be a very, very rainy type of day. Very, very rainy type of day. So maybe a run-heavy type of game, right, from James Conner. Maybe we get Kyler Murray loose with his legs as well. We'll have to kind of wait and see how it all shakes out. But yes, We already got the inactives. We're used to seeing Xavier Weaver in this inactive list. He's activated, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get some fire emojis in the comments below. Hopefully, we see him. Like I said, if we don't see him, okay, but step in the right direction. I want to see what this wide receiving core can do with the shakeup, right? And I'm talking about mainly in that slot position with Greg Dortch. And I'm not sitting here saying, oh, we need to bench Greg Dortch. No, it's nothing to do with that. But I want to see what we can do with maybe somebody different, right? Maybe we can throw in Xavier Weaver, split some reps, and let's see what we can do here. And hopefully this wide receiving core can flourish. So we'll see. So let's see what Xavier Weaver can do. If he doesn't do anything, then okay, it's going to be the Greg Dortch, Michael Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr. show, right? Nothing surprising there. But let's talk about this game here in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about the pregame show, Cardinals versus the Green Bay Packers. Now, looking at a lot of different things here, and obviously X/Twitter, it's what we expected, right? It's what we expected. It seems to be a very, very rainy type of day. Ugly weather. There's going to be some scattered showers here and there. It seems like the rain has came down probably within the last 30 minutes. And I don't think it's going to let up. Now, it might stop here and there, but I don't think it's going to be one of those things where we're going to see the sun anytime this game. It's probably going to be very, very dark, gloomy. And it's an opportunity for the Cardinals to continue to run the ball, right? Run the ball. That's going to be the name of the game in this game. What's James Conner going to be able to do? What team is going to be able to utilize the run game the best? That's what this game is going to come down to. James Conner or Josh Jacobs, right? Which is no slouch, is a really, really good running back over there. So I think this game's going to come down to who's going to be able to utilize that run game the best. Now, to me, this game is, I'm not going to say favorable for the Cardinals because I've said this before. I'm not going to say any game's winnable anymore, right? I'm not going to say that because honestly, at the end of the day, every game, any given Sunday, you never know what happens, right? A few different things that need to happen. You need to be able to run the ball. You need to be able to cause a turnover or two, and you need to be able to execute in those explosive plays. Those are the things that the Cardinals need to do in this game. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got to be able to execute in all three of these fashions: run the ball, create a turnover or two on your defense, and capitalize on your explosive plays. Ivan, what's up, brother? We got another super chat coming in. He says, Bird Gang with the fire emoji with the $1.99 donation. Absolutely appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much for the love. Ivan, Mr. Zombie, thank you so very much for the super chats. Appreciate it. But yeah, looking at the forecast right now, it doesn't seem like it's going to let up. Like I said, there might be times where the showers stop, but it seems to be cloudy, a cloudy type of day is what we're in for. So run the ball, open it up with play action. Let's see if we can get Kyler Murray involved with his legs as well, because we've all mentioned this before. When Kyler Murray gets involved with his legs in the game plan, this is a much better offense. Yes, absolutely. This is a much better offense when Kyler Murray gets involved with his legs. So now we already talked about the inactives for the Cardinals, right? We already know who's in and who's out. Let's talk about the Green Bay Packers, shall we? There was a report that came out from Tom Pelissero a little earlier pertaining to who's in and who's out for the Green Bay Packers. And what we know is that Christian Watson seems to be a go, which is their wide receiver one. I guess if you want to call him wide receiver one or wide receiver 1B, I guess whatever you want to call him. Let me bring up the Tom Pelissero report here. Where'd it go? Here we go. All right. So he ended up making a post a little earlier. Where did it go? Okay, that's not the right Tom Pelissero. All right. Okay, so what we know is that Jair is going to play. Let's look up. That's probably what we should look up. Jair Alexander. Jair is going to play. So most likely he's going to be following Marvin. And then Christian Watson is also going to be a go as well. So for what it's worth, the guys that we were kind of, not so much hoping that they don't play, they're going to play in this game. Let me get the exact full list here out for you guys. Let's see here. All right, so the guys that are not playing for them is going to be Andre Dillard, a tackle, Travis Glover, John Fitzpatrick, a tight end, Devontae Wyatt, which is a defensive lineman, Brenton Cox Jr., and then Keaton Oladapo, a safety. So Christian Watson's going, and then Jair Alexander's going. But I mean, it does it does give a little bit more of a enticement to obviously watch a game where we are kind of at full strength, both of us, right? Now, obviously, we're not in full strength because we don't have Darius Robinson. And if you guys do not know, Darius Robinson was ruled out, as well as Zay Jones is not going to be a go for the Arizona Cardinals as well. So just for what it's worth, if you guys do not know, now you know. They're not going to be a go. But for the Green Bay Packers, they do seem to have their weapons. So let's see who's the best team, right? Let's see who's the best team. London, the GOAT. What's up, man? Appreciate the $1.99 donation. He says this: who is your X factor for the day? Go Cardinals. Appreciate the super chat, my guy. Thank you so very much. Let me go ahead and give you a DJ Horn as well as Ivan. Appreciate the super chat. Honestly, my X factor for this game, I have two. I have one for the defensive side of the ball, and I have the other one for the offensive side of the ball. Let's go the offense. And it's going to be a very obvious one. I don't think it's going to be anything where it's a shock to anybody, but I do think James Conner. I think James Conner is going to be my X factor to be able to make explosive runs on the ground. Seeing with what we're seeing right now, the way the weather is shaking out in Lambeau, we got to be able to utilize that run game. Protect the ball, create explosive games, make sure that they fear our run game to the point where when we need to throw the ball, it's out there for us, right? Whether Marvin or Michael or even Trey or Greg Dortch or heck, maybe even Xavier Weaver. We don't know, right? But yeah, that's going to be my X factor for the offensive side of the ball, James Conner. And then for the defensive side of the ball, Garrett Williams. Come on, man. Let's go. Garrett Williams. I want to see what Garrett Williams can do. I really do. I want to see what Garrett Williams can do. He had a really good game the game before. Obviously not last game because he was ruled out, but I want to see if we can build off of what he has kind of shown us, right? The little flashes that we've been doing here and there. I think Garrett Williams has the potential to be maybe cornerback one for the Cardinals, and I get it. He's mainly he flourishes, not mainly. He flourishes in the nickel package in the slot more than anything. But I mean, he's got the ability to potentially be, the best cornerback because we know what Sean Murphy Bunting has kind of provided to the Cardinals so far. Not consistency. Although he's shown some flashes here and there, it's not the acquisition that we were all hoping to bring in, to kind of say the least, right? So those are my X factors. Very good question. So we got my guy in the chat saying, what are my X factors? I'll give you two. Offensive side of the ball, James Conner. We need to run the ball and make them fear our run. And then on the defensive side of the ball, Garrett Williams. It would have been Darius if he played, but Darius is not playing. Maybe next week we'll see him. Fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. Another thing to mention. Now, I told you three things that the Cardinals need to do to get this win, right? Three things. We need to be able to run the ball. We need to be able to cause a turnover on the defense, either one or two. Obviously, two would be more ideal, but we need to be able to cause a turnover. And on top of that, execute in those explosive plays for the Cardinals as well, the deep shots down the field. So let's talk about the number two thing, right? Creating turnovers. Looking at Jordan Love's stats right now, it's obvious that this offense runs through Jordan Love, right? And Jacobs is no slouch. Like, their main plan is probably going to be run the ball as well, right? Like, that's going to be their plan. Run the ball. Whoever's going to run the ball the best is going to be, probably winning this game. But Jordan Love so far in 3 games has had over 800 yards passing. To be exact, it's 873 yards passing, 8 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's got a QBR rating of 46.3. So what does that tell me? That tells me that this offense is going to mainly be Jordan Love. Now, because of the circumstances and the weather, they might pivot to more of a Josh Jacobs type of game. That's a possibility, right? That's a possibility. But what I see here with Jordan Love's stats is we see a team or a quarterback that loves to throw the ball, A, and B, we got an opportunity to potentially get a pick on him, right? Garrett Williams, Max Melton maybe, Sean Murphy Bunting, maybe our safeties, Budda Baker, Jalen Thompson, right? Somebody like that. We are going to need to be able to get an interception. We need to cause a fumble. We need to be able to do something along those lines because we need to be able to create momentum for our defense and get the offensive side of the ball back. That's important. Now, double downing on what I said about that number 3, right? Executing on those explosive plays. Let's talk about the offense in general. What I want to see from this offense is obviously scoring in the first drive. We've been doing that every single week, right? Week 1 through 5, we've been scoring in the first drive, and it's a touchdown, so it's a beautiful thing. But we got to be able to learn from what we're doing in that first drive and making it translate to the rest of the drives. This Cardinals offense needs to be the heart and soul of the Cardinals team. It does. We've mentioned this before. This defense, we cannot rely on them to win us games. Now, can they cause turnovers? Yes. Can they shut out teams in the second half? Yes. Yes, they can. But we cannot rely on them saying, you need to give us the ball back. No, our offense needs to be able to move the ball efficiently, convert on those third downs, and obviously try to get points every single drive, whether it's a field goal or touchdown. Obviously, touchdowns are more ideal, but our offense needs to be the heart and soul of this team. It does. It needs to be the heart and soul of this team. And if they cannot do it, hopefully our defense are going to be able to stop them. But it all starts with our offense, right? It all starts with our offense. Let's take a couple comments here in the chat. We got my guy Pete on the chat. It says, I want to see Marvin involved more in the game plan. I do too. I want to see Marvin Harrison Jr. involved in the game plan as well. We've been seeing a very, very good game of Marvin in the Rams game. And then we've seen mediocre games with Marvin, right? Which is probably that Bills game. Not a really good. I guess that's not mediocre. It's more of a not a good game. The Bills game wasn't good, but it was the very first game of the season, so I guess we'll give him a mulligan there. But yeah, we've seen some flashes here and there of Marvin, but I really do hope that we can have designated plays for Marvin Harrison Jr. I know we're all scarred with screen plays, but we need to be able to find Marvin with quick throws, right? Maybe a screen play. Maybe if it's like a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, right? Something like that. Now, obviously, not always, but we need to be able to do that, right? We need to be able to get the ball in his hands and see what he could do for the Arizona Cardinals offense. I agree with you. I think the Cardinals need to focus on that, but also on the other side of the coin, we can't force it, right? We can't force it to him. It's got to come to him, naturally or the game flow. But I do agree. What we can do to get more offensive snaps, convert those third downs. We got to convert those third downs. We know that the Cardinals right now, third down efficiency hasn't been our best friends. And I don't know if that's a shock to you guys, but it hasn't been our best friends at all. If you take a look at the last games for the Cardinals, like I'm not even going to talk about the Washington game. Like that Washington game was it's a game I want to forget, honestly. I don't want to talk about that Washington game anymore. But if we take a look at like third down efficiency, so let's say, for example, the 49ers game, right? The third down efficiency for us was 3 and 10. That's not good, right? Now, we did win that game by 1 point. Some people might say, because we don't have a kicker. That might be true, but third down efficiency has been a problem for the Cardinals. We were 3 out of 10 versus the 49ers game. I'm not even going to mention the Commanders game because that was bad. But let's talk about the Lions game, right? Because that was the game prior. Let's talk about the Lions game. The Cardinals' third down efficiency was 1 for 9. See, that's not okay. That needs to get better. The Cardinals need to get better on third down efficiency so we can get more plays under our belt, so we can get more of our weapons involved, in making sure we get a rhythm, right? Making sure we get a rhythm. I think my X factor definitely is going to be obviously James Conner. That there's no doubt that James Conner is my X factor on the offensive side of the ball, because the way that we're looking at this weather right now, it looks to be a very, very rainy type of day. Might not rain all day, but you're probably gonna have some scattered showers, probably gonna have a very, very wet field, and the team is gonna be able to run the ball the best is gonna probably win this game. Spencer, what's up, Spencer? Marv getting busy this weekend. Watch. Hopefully. I hope so. I wish it was under better circumstances, right? In terms of weather-wise, I hope it was under better circumstances. But like I said, I mean, we'll take with what we can get, right? We'll take with what we can get. Hopefully, Marvin Harrison Jr. has a really good game. I have faith. I have hope. Let's hope it can translate. Now, a couple other things for the people that are just joining us in the chat right now. Appreciate you guys for being here, by the way. A couple different announcements to obviously talk about. And it's all starting off with Xavier Weaver finally being activated. Hallelujah. Let's see what Xavier Weaver can do. A couple big key inactives for the Cardinals. Matt Prater is going to be a no-go. And then you also got Victor Dimukeje, Darren Hall, Xavier Thomas, and then Travis Volkanek. Those guys are not going to be playing. Xavier Weaver is a go. Finally, let's just see if we are going to be using them here in the game plan. We'll see. Fingers crossed. We got my guy in the chat saying our line is depleted. Well, yeah, it's depleted, but I mean, we can't make that as an excuse, right? We can't make that as an excuse. The Cardinals need to come out with the win in this game. And I'm not sitting here saying if the Cardinals don't win, the season's over. No, that's long from what I'm trying to say. But if you want to get some sort of positive momentum in 2024, because you still have some fans out there that don't believe in this organization, right? Quite yet. If you want to get this team back on your side, if you want to get the fans back on your side, you got to get this win. Because if you win, you're back at 3-3. And guess what? You're in the top of the division in the NFC West. It's a good place to be, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good place to be. So I agree. Our offensive line is depleted, especially in that right side, right? Kelvin Beachum right now is playing decent. I'm not going to say great. I'm not going to say bad. I think he's playing decent/good, right? That right guard position, that's going to be a very, very interesting way, or I'm curious to figure out how the Cardinals are going to be able to maneuver that. Who's going to be the right guard position, right? Let me see if the depth chart has been posted here real quick on ESPN for the Cardinals. Right now, it still says Tristan Colon. Let me see if I can go to the Cardinals depth chart. Yeah, Tristan Colon seems to be the guy that might be the right guard for us. If he doesn't go, maybe potentially John Gaines. You'll probably see him. You'll probably see Isaiah Adams as well, which is a rookie. I personally would rather see John Gaines over the two. But if they believe in Tristan Colon, then okay, let's roll with it and let's see what the Cardinals can do, right? Because, yes, we know for sure that right guard or that right position, the right side of the O-line is really depleted. We all know that. But no excuses. We're in week 6. We need to be able to overcome these injuries and see what the Cardinals can do. How many yards do you think Kyler is going to throw/run for? That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I could put my prediction out there, but like this being the fact that it's really rainy worries me a little bit. We don't play very well in inclement weather. Now, we played good at one point, and I believe it was a Chicago game. And I don't think it was last year because I think we lost last year versus Chicago. But there was a Chicago game that the Cardinals did play well in. So, I mean, it's one of those things that obviously we just need to be able to, just do well. We need to be able to execute in those explosive plays, the run game, and hopefully our defense can get a turnover or two. But I don't know. It's hard for me to put a prediction out here for Kyler Murray's stat line because of just the inclement weather that's currently going on right now in Green Bay. Kind of worries me a little bit. Let's read a couple more chats here. We got my guy in the chat saying the disrespect this team gets from some people is unbelievable. I think we have the talent here to shock some people. Go Cardinals. Well, Fitz in the chat, appreciate you for the comment. That's a really good comment, but it just goes to show, we as Cardinal fans can sit it back and say this team has played very, very well against the teams that we played, right? With the exception, of course, of that Commanders game. We got blown out. We don't want to talk about that game anymore. Hopefully that's the outlier. But we all know as Cardinal fans that we have stood up toe-to-toe, right, with teams. We know that. But you got to win, right? Moral victories can only get you so far. We will continue to get hate. We will continue to get overlooked. We will continue to not be picked as winners if the Cardinals can't win games, right? We can only take, that game could have been won for the Cardinals so far. So I don't blame national media for overlooking the Cardinals. We need to take care of business. We got to stop caring what the national media has to say and take care of business and get this win here in Green Bay. A win here in Green Bay means back at 500. It means we're at the top of the division. There's a lot of things riding on this game. We got to win it. Just the way I feel about it. Got a few people here in the chat saying Steelers game Mike. I don't know what that means. Do better than the Packers. Yes, absolutely. The Cardinals need to do better than the Packers. Facts. That's simple as that. Go Cardinals. Buddha is the best. Love the optimism. Let's see what other people say in the chat here as well. What's up, Adrian? He says, funny how you say there are people who don't believe in this team as you were talking bad about the defense, which is part of the team. Shake my head. Well, let me clarify because here's the thing. You've seen a mix of two different tales from this defense, right? You've seen a mix of two different tales, right? You've seen a defense that cannot stop the run, right? You've seen a defense that's allowed a rookie / the Commanders to do whatever they wanted to do, and we couldn't stop them, right? You've seen good flashes of this defense. You've seen this defense also shut down, teams in the second half. The big thing is that this defense is so unknown, right? That's what I'm talking about here, right? So to you, it might seem like a knock, right? Adrian, to you saying, "Oh, I'm the one talking about it." No, but that's far from the truth. I'm just coming out here and saying that our defense should not be a deciding factor to say we need to depend on them, because we know darn well that we can't depend on this defense to do that. Can they make plays here and there? Yes, they can, right? But we can't sit here and say, oh, they're going to hold a team to 13 points. I just don't believe in it. I don't believe in it. So can they make a change? Can they make a turn? Of course they can, right? But it starts here. This is a good game to hold the Green Bay Packers down. But I almost promise you, the Cardinals offense are going to need to score points to win games. This defense isn't going to shut anybody down. And I don't know if that hurts your feelings, but it's the way that it is. It's the truth. This defense does not have the premier pass rusher. This defense does not have a lockdown cornerback. Am I right or am I wrong? I think you're just getting too much in your feelings, because honestly, at the end of the day, the Cardinals have potential. The Cardinals have players that can be good. It's just we haven't seen it in a consistent basis. They can cause turnovers. That's the truth. They can. But to sit here and say we can rely on our defense to win games is I can't. If Darius Robinson comes back next week and he plays out of his mind and he's probably the best player we have on our defense already, then okay, we're singing a different tune. But can you sit here and tell me that we have a good shutdown corner? Do we have a great edge rusher? We don't. Do we have a great interior defensive lineman? We don't. So that's what I'm saying. It's not any bad knock on them. It's just being the truth. Just being the truth. We got a few people in the chat here saying Ed from AZ's driving back from LA. Looking forward to play-by-play. Let's go. We're not doing a play-by-play. We're just doing a pregame show, ladies and gentlemen. We're only doing a pregame show, and then we're also going to be doing a halftime report as well. So halftime report is going to be coming, obviously, during the halftime of the Arizona Cardinals versus Green Bay Packers to see where they're at. All right, let's do this. We got 2 more minutes before the start of this game. Let me know your predictions here in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Give me your best Cardinals versus Packers predictions in the chat below. Let me know how you guys feel if this game is going to shake out. We got 1 minute right now. 1 minute to kick off. We're going to be closing up shop within a minute after we get a few different comments here and there, couple of predictions, and then we're going to be closing up shop. We will be doing a halftime report as well to kind of see where this Cardinals team is so far. Predictions in the chat. We're going to be closing up shop here. Let's see here. Fishbowl says rain is still coming down. Yeah, that's what it is right now. Oh, and also smack the like button if you can. Jair is playing. Yes, Jair is playing, and Christian Watson is playing too. Let's get some predictions in the chat. Here we go. We're already starting with the predictions. We got my guy Marty saying go Cards. We got Spencer saying 27-17 Cards. Love it, love it. 23-20 from Paul Cards. Okay. Kyler's playing Ivan. What's up, Ivan? Cardinals win 28-24. Fishbowl says 21-17 Cards. Okay. Optimism in the air, ladies and gentlemen. Optimism in the air. And as you can tell, nobody has the Cardinals defense keeping anybody under 20 points or under 13, 15 points. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's close up shop here. This game's about to start up. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. As always, I will see you at the halftime report. Let's go Cardinals. Let's get this win. Later, guys.